Welcome, dear viewers, to a journey through the heart of ancient Greece, where philosophy, art, and timeless wisdom converge. Today we dive into the story of Theron, a young man who embarks on a transformative journey guided by the principles of Stoic philosophy. This tale is not just about ancient wisdom, it's a reflection on how we, too, can find peace and purpose in our modern lives. But before we begin, make sure to stay until the end, where we'll uncover the deeper meaning behind Theron's journey and how it can inspire us today. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and comment below with your thoughts. And for those who've already joined us, hit the asterisk bell icon so you never miss a story that sparks your mind and soul. Now, without further ado, let's step into the world of ancient Athens, where Theron's quest for wisdom begins. Get ready to explore the teachings of Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato, and discover how Stoic philosophy can light the way in our own lives. Let's jump into the story. In the heart of ancient Greece, nestled between the rolling hills and the azure waters of the Aegean Sea, lay the city of Athens. It was a place of bustling markets, grand temples, and lively debates. Among its citizens was a young man named Theron, who had grown up in the shadow of the Acropolis, surrounded by the echoes of philosophers and the wisdom of the ages. Yet despite his privileged upbringing, Theron felt a deep emptiness within him, a yearning for something more than the fleeting pleasures of wealth and status. One day, as Theron wandered through the agora, he overheard a conversation that would change his life forever. A group of students had gathered around an elderly philosopher named Eudoros, who spoke with a calm and measured voice. His words were not filled with the fiery passion of the sophists or the poetic allure of the poets. Instead, they carried a quiet strength that seemed to resonate with the very essence of truth. True wisdom, Eudoros said, lies not in the accumulation of knowledge, but in the mastery of oneself. The Stoic path is one of virtue, reason, and acceptance. It is a journey inward where we confront our fears, desires, and illusions, and emerge with a clarity that transcends the chaos of the external world. Theron was captivated. He had heard of Stoicism before, but it had always seemed like a distant and abstract philosophy, reserved for the likes of Zeno or Epictetus. Yet as he listened to Eudoros, he felt a spark of recognition, a sense that this was the path he had been searching for all along. Determined to learn more, Theron approached Eudoros after the lecture and asked if he could become his student. The old philosopher studied him with a penetrating gaze, as if seeing through the layers of Theron's soul. After a moment, he nodded and said, "The journey of a Stoic is not an easy one. It requires discipline, courage, and an unwavering commitment to truth. Are you prepared to walk this path?" Theron hesitated for a moment, but then he nodded firmly. "I am." And so Theron's journey began. Under Eudoros' guidance, he delved into the teachings of Stoicism, studying the works of Zeno, Cleanthes, and Chrysippus. He learned that the Stoics believed in living in accordance with nature, which meant accepting the world as it was and focusing on what was within his control. They taught that external events, wealth, fame, even health, were indifferent to true happiness, which could only be found in the cultivation of virtue and the exercise of reason. At first, Theron struggled to grasp these concepts. He had been raised in a world that valued material success and external achievements, and the idea of finding happiness within himself seemed almost absurd. But as he continued his studies, he began to see the wisdom in the Stoic teachings. He realized that his anxiety and dissatisfaction stemmed from his attachment to things that were beyond his control. His desire for approval, his fear of failure, his longing for a life free from pain and hardship. One day, Eudoros took Theron to a quiet grove outside the city, where they sat beneath the shade of an ancient olive tree. The old philosopher handed Theron a small, smooth stone and said, "This stone represents the things in life that are beyond your control. Hold it tightly in your hand." Theron did as he was told, gripping the stone with all his strength. "Now," Eudoros continued, "imagine that this stone is your desire for wealth, fame, or any other external thing. The tighter you hold on to it, the more it will weigh you down. But if you let it go, you will find freedom. Theron opened his hand, and the stone fell to the ground. He felt a strange sense of relief, as if a burden had been lifted from his shoulders. This, Eudoras said, is the essence of Stoic wisdom. It is not about rejecting the world or denying your desires, but about understanding what is truly important and letting go of what is not. When you release your attachment to external things, you will find peace within yourself. As the months turned into years, Theron continued to practice Stoicism, applying its principles to every aspect of his life. He learned to face adversity with courage, to accept the impermanence of all things, and to find joy in the simple act of living in accordance with nature. He no longer sought validation from others or feared the opinions of the crowd. Instead, he focused on cultivating his own virtue and living a life of integrity and purpose. One day, Theron received news that his family's fortune had been lost in a shipwreck. In the past, such a loss would have devastated him, but now he met the news with equanimity. He remembered Eudorus's teachings and realized that his true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the strength of his character and the wisdom he had gained. Theron's transformation did not go unnoticed. His friends and family marveled at his calm demeanor and his ability to remain unshaken in the face of life's challenges. They began to seek his counsel, and he shared with them the principles of Stoicism, encouraging them to look within themselves for the answers they sought. In time, Theron became a respected philosopher in his own right, known for his wisdom and his unwavering commitment to the Stoic path. He continued to teach and inspire others, just as Eudoras had done for him. And though he faced many trials and tribulations throughout his life, he always remembered the lesson of the stone, that true freedom comes from letting go of what is beyond our control and embracing the peace that lies within. As Theron grew older, he often returned to the grove where he had first learned the essence of Stoic wisdom. Sitting beneath the ancient olive tree, he would reflect on his journey and the lessons he had learned. He knew that his time in this world was limited, but he also knew that he had lived a life of virtue and purpose, and that was enough. In the end, Theron's story was not one of grand achievements or external success, but of inner transformation and the quiet strength of Stoic wisdom. It was a reminder that true happiness is not found in the world around us, but within ourselves, in the choices we make, the virtues we cultivate, and the peace we find in accepting the nature of life. And so Theron's legacy lived on, not in monuments or wealth, but in the hearts and minds of those he had touched with his wisdom. His journey was a testament to the enduring power of Stoic philosophy, a philosophy that continues to inspire and guide us, even in the modern world, as we navigate the challenges of our own lives. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through ancient Stoic wisdom, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more inspiring stories like this. Stay tuned, and let's keep exploring timeless wisdom together. Until next time, stay curious and inspired.